Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Radio Raheem, aka The Trash Man. You know what I'm saying? Today being May 2nd, 2017. First off, I want to say happy 88th birthday to my grandmother, Maurice Pierce. You know what I'm saying? Love you. And everything like that. Yeah, the camera's there, but, you know, I'm looking at it, whatever. Plus, I'm driving, so if I don't seem like I'm paying full attention, I am. Oh, by the way, go Celtics. Anyway, the reason why I want to make this video is because yesterday at Fenway Park, last night actually, there was a game between the Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. And there was one knucklehead fan out in the audience that threw a bag of peanuts at Adam Jones, the outfielder for the Orioles, and started saying a bunch of racial epithets, especially using the N-word. And you know, Adam Jones went on the press, you know, went to USA Today, wherever media outlet he said, and trying to label Boston as a racist town. And, you know, to that I say, yeah, we were a racist town. I grew up here, you know what I'm saying? Born and raised in Boston. I've dealt with racism numerous times, from my times of playing baseball, to my times of playing hockey, from my times of doing professional wrestling, and just going to school in a predominantly white school in the early 80s. To label Boston as just the mecca of all racist cities, and, you know, that's just totally wrong. And on top of that, you know, to that effect, I want to say, I've had a lot of other, you know, sports fans from around the country, from other major cities, that say, oh, how can you even support a Boston team? You know, they're a bunch of racists and stuff like that. Little do you guys know, I mean, what about all the other major cities around the country that had to deal with the racism? Like, you know, the riots in Detroit. Let's go back to anybody who lives down south, you know what I'm saying, especially during the Jim Crow days. And, you know, Chicago, and especially New York City. You know, there was a point in time when you couldn't even roll through Bensonhurst if you're black. You know, those Italians didn't like black people too much. They damn sure didn't care about the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? So racism is in every major city in the country. So for everybody to label, you know, Boston as this big time major city, yeah, we dealt with our racism. We had to go through the whole busing crisis in the early to mid 70s, okay? We dealt with all of that. You know what I'm saying? We had times when we couldn't go through South Boston. Now, you got like 20% of the residents that live in South Boston are black or Latino. You know what I'm saying? The city's been segregated for quite some time, but you do have a mixture of people that live there now. Now there's black people living in Charlestown. There's black people living in Southie. There's black people living everywhere. Spanish people too. Cape Verdeans. So you can't label Boston as a racist city. I mean, there's racism everywhere you go. But back in the 70s, the 60s, and 50s, or whatever else, it was more in-your-face racism. Now it's more behind-the-back racism. And that's just a part of life. That's what we're going to have to deal with till the day we die. So for everybody to just point fingers at Boston and try to deter all the professional athletes from coming here and playing, you know, come on with that. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics were the first team to have a major black star on their team, my man Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champ. Okay, the Boston Bruins were the first team to allow a brother to play, 1958, my man Willie O'Ree. Now, granted, the Red Sox were the last team to integrate because Tom Yawkey didn't want any black players when, you know, the National League was letting them all in, and then, you know, the whole Jackie Robinson thing and all that. I get it. But for everybody to sit there and say, oh, how can you root for any Boston team? Because I am from here. I grew up here. I will not root for any other teams but my Boston teams. The only other team I root for outside of Boston is the Chicago Cubs. But I am Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, Patriots. That's it. So for all you guys out there, and I hope some of you professional athletes out there that are freaking free agents see that, you know what I'm saying? This is a winning town. You guys know what it is. Last 15 years, we got 5 titles from the Patriots, 3 titles with the Red Sox, 1 with the Celtics, 2 finals appearances, One Stanley Cup with the Bruins, 2 finals appearances. You can't say playoffs without Boston in the mix. So for all you professional athletes out there that may see this, don't believe the hype. Don't listen to the messages that, people say we're a racist town. There's racism everywhere you go, just so y'all know. And in LA. All right? So get y'all facts straight before y'all start saying that Boston's a racist town. All right? This is Radio Raheem. I'm out. Happy birthday, Grandma. Love you. Go Celtics.